Hello, my name is Mr.Codilla, and today I'm going to show you how to draw the Crazy Tubes optical illusion. I'm going to start with the wavy line near the middle of my paper. Notice it doesn't have a lot of hills or a lot of bumps in it. Just a few would be fine. Now I'm going to do, let's say, 5 to 7 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like I said, you could do 5 to 7. Make sure that they are spaced out far enough away from each other, not super close to each other. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start creating some curves. It's going to arch up like this. Notice I connect the dots. I'm going to come back around, connect those dots again. Now this time I'm not going to connect the dots. I'm just going to start on the curve itself. Come around, end on the curve, and just keep going like this. Make sure you space them out enough. You don't want to get them too close. And it can go right off the edge of the paper, just like that. I can even imagine another one right there, going off right off the edge. Now, to do the other side, one of the easiest ways to do it is just to flip the paper around and connect them like this. There you go. You can even begin turning it. Now, I'm going to do this pair right here. You could fill in this pair, but it's going to take a really long time to color those in, so I'm just going to skip this gap, come over here. Sometimes you can connect 3, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start turning this tube this way. So I'm actually going to start up here on this tube, come around and come down pretty far on the other side. Notice the space. I'm start up here, come around on this side, and you'll notice since I started way up here on this curve, it curves around just like that. And it's going to go right off the edge, just like that. I'm going to flip it around. Now I'm going to have this one curve behind this tube. So it's going to twist around. It's going to do a lot of turning. Again, I start with my dots, nice tall curve. Now I'm going to start right here. Instead of coming way down here, or even just here, I'm going to come right about here on my curve, come around. Notice where I end, almost near the dot again. Start back here. There we go. And it just turns around for us. You can make it turn any direction you want. Looks like it goes right behind this tube. It's going to come right back here. Now it's very important that if it goes behind a tube right here, you don't want it coming out down here. It's going to look a little strange. So I'm going to have it come right over here, straight across, like it's the same tube. Now notice it's a little smaller. So maybe as it was going behind this tube, it got a little smaller. I'm going to make it start getting a little bit bigger. And to do that, I just make my arches taller. There we go. In fact, I'll just have this curve right off the edge of the page. Just like that. So it kind of twists around there. Now I'm going to do this one right over here. Now this one, I'm going to show you how to make it small. So I'm going to keep this one right over here. It's going to get really super small. Let's make my arches. You can think of these as like tornadoes or tubes or worms. So I'm going to come up pretty far on this arch. Just like this. Again, not down here. I'm going to come right back up here. Notice the taller I get, the smaller it gets. There, it's going to go right off the edge there. You don't want to make them too super small. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start with it getting a little smaller, like this. But now I'm going to make it get much bigger and turn around. So to get bigger, you want to start, instead of taller, you want to start a little bit further down on the arch and arch it way out like that. Arch it way out, just like this. And it gets pretty big, pretty fast. Like that. I'm going to come around here. Have it come off over here. Maybe it goes behind this one right here. I'll add another one there. There we go. And there is the Crazy Tubes project. I do want to show you some mistakes. Mistakes that I often see with this project are usually like when people get their dots way too close like this, or when they do get them far apart, nicely like that, their curves aren't too tall. You want to make sure you get a nice tall curve, not like that. And then sometimes I see people, they just get a little sloppy, or they do something like that. Now, sometimes when people do get nice curves, connecting their dots, sometimes they get too far up, they round it off a little too much like this. Sort of looks like spheres stacked up on top of each other. The other mistake that I often see is when people are doing their curves and they're getting near the edge of their paper, sometimes they sort of stop a little too early. You can add one more, kind of going off the edge, like that.